Brian, good morning to you. Glad you're here because we want to know what you make of Aaron Rodgers' mixed messages.
Well, good morning, Jenna. And if you would ask my wife, she would say that I'm the king of mixed messages. But in this case, I don't think that this is a mixed message at all. I think this was two things. Number one, it was Aaron Rodgers, who was the MVP of the league, taking a shot at the organization and basically saying, hey, you guys drafted a quarterback last year, and look what I just did. I just had an MVP season. So that's the number one thing. The second thing is, I think this is a player after an emotional game, losing an emotional game, NFC Championship game, and he was basically saying he was being open, he was being candid, and he was talking from the heart. And I remember the last 3 or 4 years of my career, and of course, I'm not in the GOAT conversation where Aaron Rodgers certainly is, but my thought was always, I don't know what's going to happen next year. I'm under contract, but I don't know what's going to happen. The team may move on. There's certainly going to be different players on this team. And there was always a thought that things may not go the way that I want them to. And I think this is all that we're seeing from Aaron Rodgers. And lastly, I think we have to consider this. Aaron Rodgers was standing across the field for Tom Brady, a Tom Brady that was in New England for 20 years, that nobody thought would ever leave, that everyone felt he would end his career in New England because of all the success he's had. But now Tom Brady has moved on 21st season to go to Tampa Bay and has had enormous success, just beat me on our home field. You have to be crazy to think that Aaron Rodgers is not saying to myself, what if I was to go to another team and maybe have a different type of success that I haven't been able to have here in Green Bay? I think Aaron Rodgers was feeling all those emotions, and because of that, that's why a lot of people think it's mixed signal.
Mixed emotions, mixed signals, all this other relationships. Let's stay right there then, Jenna. If that's where you want to go, let's stay right there. But let's take it back to high school. Let's go to that puppy love. Remember being in high school, B, Nick, Jenna, Wilds, and that was that one person that you wanted, and you're like, oh, man, that's
Mike
the girl.
DiBianco.
I'm really digging this girl. And then all of a sudden, you get that girl. And everything's good. Everything's working out until it's not. And when does it not work out? When everybody get in your business. Samantha and Johnny knows what's going on. And then you got Johnny like, bro, you're the star of the team. Why are you dating just one girl? Why don't you just go out, look at all these other cheerleaders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then you got Samantha like, girl, why are you sticking with him? He just read books. He just do that. He's boring. And then what happens is, you just start getting all these other narratives, and then everybody got these other thoughts. So what Aaron Rodgers is doing right now is saying, you know what? It's better to do business quietly. That's what Aaron Rodgers is doing. He's looking at relationships from the past. He's going back to his high school days and said, man, when Samantha and Johnny got into it, it got a little messy. So now what I need to do is cut the noise. I started all this noise, and now what I need to do is kind of erase all of that. That's what's happening, Nick.
Yeah, okay. I will quickly continue the tortured analogy, but bring it to somewhat more modern times. You know how he started the noise? He changed his relationship status on Facebook from married to it's complicated, and then immediately switched it back to married and is like, nothing to see here, boys. Right. No, I don't know why is everyone asking me about my marriage? It's fine, it's great. I mean, I could get struck by lightning, but aside from that, it's fine. It's like, bro, you did this. And I watched this whole interview with Pat, and I don't know who the cigar-smoking fella is with him, but I watched it with those guys.
That's the Hawk.
The Hawk, okay, with Pat and the Hawk. And Aaron says, oh, that's AJ Hawk? Oh, I didn't know that was AJ Hawk. That's AJ Hawk. I recognize him without the helmet. Oh, I didn't know that was AJ Hawk. All right, thank you, cigar smoking fella. They do a good job. It's a good show. But regardless, he mentions Aaron Jones, Corey Linsley, and Mercedes Lewis. He's like, yeah, I don't know about I don't know about Aaron's status. I don't know about Corey's status. Yeah, I think he calls Mercedes big dog, but he's talking about Mercedes Lewis. All of those guys have something in common. They're pending free agents. Their contracts have expired. Aaron Rodgers' contract has not expired, and it won't expire next year or the year after next. And so, Wilds, I think Aaron Rodgers started a small fire intentionally because while he's under contract for the next 3 years, I think that he would like there to be more of a commitment from the team, because while they are not going to move on from him this offseason, there is no chance. Contractually, they could move on from him after next year. So I think this whole thing was to get the ball rolling on. You drafted Jordan Love. I want a new contract that would make it painful for you to move on from me, because he doesn't want to go anywhere.
Money move.
While he says in this interview, he says Dirk and Kobe and guys who spent their whole careers with a team, that he wants that he's always wanted that. So to me, Rodgers got this conversation going on purpose with a means to an end, and I don't begrudge him that, but I don't think we can ignore that either.
I totally agree. And as a media member, I love it. I love confusion. I love opaqueness. I love like little Easter eggs in the car. I love it. But if Aaron Rodgers and I were friends, for example, and I was going to order some pizza for the party, and I asked Aaron Rodgers, like, Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to order some pizza. What do you want? And he's like, the future is a beautiful mystery. I'm like, totally agree, buddy, but I got to order it to pick it up. I got to plan for the future. And he said, well, you know, a lot of guys' future is uncertain, mine included. I'm like, totally agree again. But, like, what do you want? Do you not want pizza? And he said, I don't think there's any reason why I wouldn't. I'm like, totally, okay, because you said you didn't want pizza. You keep on talking about the future. Buddy, just tell me pepperoni. Just say, you know what? Mushroom and pepperoni. That's what I want to hear. As a media member, I like it. But, Brian, if he's being open and candid, why doesn't he sit there and just straight up say, like, you know what I want? A guaranteed contract like Tom Brady. You know what I want? I want to be in the draft room so you guys don't draft another quarterback for some reason. You know what I want? Sign these 3 guys, and you know what? I did some math, and here's what they're owed. Just give it to me straight, because as a media member, I enjoy the chaos of it, but I would think that it would just be a more straightforward line if he just placed his order directly.
But Kevin, I think you're absolutely right. And you're talking as a media member. And as a media member, I myself would love Aaron Rodgers to come out and say that. But as a teammate, I would want Aaron Rodgers to go to management and say, okay, listen, here's the deal. This is what I want. I want more money. I want you to sign these other guys. I don't want you to draft quarterbacks to try to replace me. I want you to draft players that can help me. That's what I would want as a teammate, because it keeps it out of the media. And who's to say that Aaron Rodgers is not going to have that conversation? If I'm the Green Bay Packers brass, I'm coming to Aaron Rodgers and saying simply, you were the MVP. Tell us how you want us to move. Do you want a little bit more money on your contract to make it, closer to what all these top-tier quarterbacks are getting? That'll help you? Cool. We can do that. Do you want to have a little bit more say of the players around you? Cool. We can do that as well. The only way that the Green Bay Packers stay relevant at this point have Aaron Rodgers at the helm in the quarterback position. So if I'm the brass there in Green Bay, I'm saying whatever you want, I'm willing to accommodate so that we can help you stay here and be happy in Green Bay.
True. Right. And B, it's probably the best option for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, obviously. And what does he need? He need to go in there and say, Mercedes Lewis, he's a dog. He's a guy that he's not going to catch 50 balls a year, but his presence and just his leadership does everything. And what he does in a run game is big. Aaron Jones, bring back Aaron Jones. And you give me some help. What they need is a honey badger, Nick. That's what they need on that side. Because you said it yesterday, and you've been saying it. Aaron Rodgers had every opportunity to win that game and be in the Super Bowl. So they're not far off, but they just need to make the right moves this offseason and can't repeat what they did last offseason.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.